Hello friends, in part 1 of this video we packed up, took a 6-hour road trip and a 45-minute ferry ride, all while answering your questions. Now we will bring you along for a week at the cabin while answering more of your burning questions about This Alaska Life. Let's go! Our knight in shining armor is here to pick us up.
Your Uber is here.
Alright, we're gonna look at some names of boats. The Froya, Kimosabi over there.
Grampus.
I like this one, Grampus. The Spitfire, the Reality. Oh, it has got solar panels on it. That's interesting. Yahtzee Bob. We see a sea otter. We're gonna go see if we can get close to it. We're wondering why the other boys didn't come to pick us up. Hunter is babysitting because it is wavy on the other side, and it's very helpful to have somebody on the beach to move the line to where it needs to be when you pull in. Hunter stayed behind and is watching his brothers so that we can make it back without too much trouble. And that leads into a question that we got. How do we do babysitting? Do the boys watch each other? Sometimes. We put Hunter in charge of Everett if we need to go somewhere for a short amount of time. And then Weston and Bennett are supposed to take care of themselves. If Hunter needs help, he will call. So the most we've ever left them is maybe 2 hours. You know, we're pretty lucky during the summertime. We can go like on a date or something and Grandma and Grandpa are downstairs. We made our way over here, but now he's right in the middle. This one is kind of interesting. This one's called, Mission Field with a Jesus fish.
It's who you know.
It says, it's not what you know, it's who you know. All right, I have another question. Have we ever met Bert and Jessica from Summers in Alaska? No, I don't know if they even know who I am. From my understanding, Bert's sister is Violet Vlogs. We are Instagram friends. We text back and forth. She was recently in Eagle River where I live, but it took me to the last night that they were there to get up the nerve to say, hey, can we hang out? And she wrote me back and said, I was too nervous to ask you too. So next time we are gonna meet up and just chat YouTube. Bennett's getting out his pent-up energy, doing his scissor broad jump.
Everett made you a bouquet at the airport while we were unloading the plane.
That's beautiful. Oops. That's a lot of pretty different flowers.
He called it his magic potion bouquet. That's what he said.
All right, we'll have to put it in a cup. This is the most stressful part about getting to the cabin. If it's windy, it can be really tricky. But Hunter's here to help. Good morning from the cabin. Making breakfast burritos. Good morning, Phoebe. We got our cousins here. It's a full house. I have a good helper here in the kitchen.
He'll be happy. He's growing tiny. Yeah, he is, sort of.
The newest member of the family, baby Henry.
He's so cute.
He's so cute, huh? Don't you think, Ev? So the next question is, do we winterize the cabin? And the answer is yes, there are certain things we do to winterize the cabin. Can you tell us what we do to winterize the cabin?
We gotta drain all the water hoses and take down the well system. We tidy everything up, lock everything up, make sure that no waves or water or anything get washed away. We kind of board up the door. Yeah, we got to remove the stovepipe and make sure, because water will sometimes leak down the stove and can rust it. And for our pulley system out there, we have to do a couple things to cover up the motor and clear that out. There's a lot more work actually with the boat. You got to winterize the boat. You got to pull it out of the water. You have to put oil in the engine and clean off the bottom of it and get it all tarped and ready to be loaded with snow all winter long.
And in case you're wondering, Mark is adding wheels to our little raft so that it can be easier to pull up and down the beach.
Be able to go to remote beaches and flip the wheels down and then pull the boat up on the beach and camp out or fish or whatever, and then put the wheels back down, roll it down, and launch the boat all without having to carry it.
This is our COSTCO boat, Tobin Sport. With our big boat, we often cannot go into big beaches. It's just too hard. Alaska doesn't have a ton of docks. on beaches that you might want to go on. So you need a smaller boat like this to either drive there or bring it along and then get in that to go to shore and keep your boat anchored out. I know we had a question about that recently, whether or not we can just land wherever we want. You usually have to anchor your boat and then have some sort of smaller boat to get into shore, because the tide goes in and out. Most boats you don't want to get beached and not have water underneath them. It can really damage them. So you have to anchor them out far enough that the water is going to stay under them. We got a serious game of badminton going on here. Hunter's rocking out back here.
We can probably rock out and still win.
My guitar broke. It's at the bottom and it's like 2 seconds.
And these guys are on an adventure. Oh, whatever, just jump ship. All right, the next question that I got was, tell us about your faith. We are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We believe in a Heavenly Father, His Son Jesus Christ, and in the Holy Ghost. Our faith has a lot of emphasis on families and eternal families, and being kind and good followers of Jesus Christ, learning about Him, learning from the Bible and also the Book of Mormon, which is another testament of Jesus Christ that teach us how to become more like Jesus Christ, how to be kinder, how to be more loving, how to just be better people. So that is our faith in a nutshell. There's a lot more to it, but Mark and I were both born into the church, but we've both worked very diligently throughout our lives to develop our own testimonies of our Savior and our Heavenly Father, and we are working hard to teach our children to love their Savior and to be good examples of Him. So that is our goal. We did get a question if we are going on another rafting trip this summer, and the answer is not any big ones. We did a full week raft trip last summer with our family and Mark's parents. You can go back and watch the full adventure of that, but those type of raft trips take a ton of work, a ton of preparation, and most of the rafting trips Mark wants to do, you have to fly out to and things like that. So this summer we're not doing any of that, just lots of trips to the cabin, lots of little fishing trips. He's going to be flying out a bunch and taking the boys fishing and stuff like that, but no official raft trips.
Almost to land! We're at land. Anchor shooter.
All right, my niece Lizzie and I are on a flower hunt. Do you want to show us your book?
Some yellow monkey flowers.
Horsetail, dandelion, yep.
And my nose is Devil's Club. They're not all flowers. Some of them are plants too.
So we found lots of different specimens for Lizzie to identify and draw. And the next question that I'll answer is, somebody asked if we liked the bread and butter pickles from Costco.
Nope.
What?
Nope.
So I didn't end up buying a big jar of them, but my mom bought them and then she brought them upstairs for us. Consensus was that none of us liked them. They were just too sweet. We are not sweet pickle. We like spicy pickles and we like dill pickles, but the bread and butter were a no for us. Something exciting is going on up here.
You are a blue tuna.
Weston is trying out Bennett's suit.
Yeah, this needs to go down. And Bennett's using my suit.
Oh, he's gonna try and go swim. All right, Westy, what do you think?
That is Weston and this is Bennett. And then Bennett took it out of you.
I think he loves it.
It's like a little seal.
What is the temperature of this water?
This water is probably 42 degrees right now, and it's probably 58 degrees outside right now with the wind blowing and it's raining. This is so awesome to see Weston excited though.
Yeah, this is Westy's first time in the water. His first time in one of these wetsuits in the water. These are thick wetsuits that allow them to be in these cold water for longer. Mark, if you haven't seen our previous videos, Mark does a lot of free diving, and then he got these two suits for Hunter and Bennett, but the smallest one they have is Bennett's size, but Weston is borrowing it today to try it out, and it's a little big on him, but he's having fun.
Where's his shorts on?
In his bag. So without wearing a wetsuit, the boys usually like run in, freeze, and then run back out. But the suits allow them to stay in and swim around. Everett wanted to get in on the action. It's so good!
Look at my feet.
You got jelly feet.
When I was a kid, we used to never swim. My sister and I played around like once or twice in the water on an 80-degree day or something. Once in a blue moon, but nothing like this.
So I got a question on our last cabin video that do we ever find anything when we are tide pooling that can hurt us? It's ever hurt anybody, pinched anybody? And the answer is yes. My sister-in-law Sarah once had this like worm thing that ended up biting her. She was fine, but and you can get pinched by a crab, but mostly she's been fine. The octopus doesn't hurt you. I think some people are kind of scared of the octopus and their beak, but no problem. Unfortunately, this trip, I don't think we have any low enough tides to do any good tide pooling. So if you're curious about what this cabin is and want more information about that, make sure to go watch our first cabin video from this summer, and it'll explain everything for you. When we are at the cabin with family, we divide up all the meals and cook for each other. So today we are in charge of dinner. So we're cooking up some amazing king salmon, caught fresh yesterday. Takes up the entire grill. Got a beautiful Asian salad here. Some crispy fried noodles from our friend Vanessa in Australia. And I made the dressing at home. I'll put the link down in the description for this whole salad because it's the best. And we got some stir-fry veggies and rice. Make a dinner. We have a new development at the cabin this trip. I showed you these water tanks last time. They are full of runoff water, and we have attached a hose, and my brother-in-law Ben has finished the shower. Careful, you need to tuck yourself in there. Oh, there you go.
Back into the pea.
One pea in a pod.
One pea in a pod.
All right, so this hose goes all the way. Here's the bunkie. We are staying in the bunkie this time. And now the shower is complete. So come in. This is the water heater. And you can change how hot it is, how much water comes out. And then you turn it on up here. You got a little shower curtain. So you can kind of get dressed on this side, shower on this side. And then back here, in this little hut, is the propane and the pump. And then you flip the switch and you can take a shower. Which I plan on doing after we have our campfire. But Bennett took a shower, Ben took a shower, my sister-in-law took a shower, so they said it was wonderful. Are you gonna take a shower?
Yes.
I'm excited. He put down some pavers on the floor.
The water's warm.
Yep, I'm excited.
I put my hand in it and it gets hot.
Now, it's actually not that cold right now. I do have a jacket on, but one, I forgot my rain jacket this trip. And two, it's the bugs. I've been hiding from the bugs. All right, you guys ready?
2 peas in a
Two peas in a pod.
2 peas in a pod.
Oh, I love it when their little heads pop out.
La, put my head.
Oh, I got you both at the same time. All right, Westy was on a walk with his cousin and found the coolest thing. It's a sponge, but then it has
Jane found it.
a hermit crab inside. I don't know if you guys can see his little pincher in there. Good morning. It is 4th of July. We have a cloudy morning, but it's actually really nice. It's a little warmer than yesterday. And Bennett and his uncle Ben have decided they're gonna go run in the Salmon Shuffle in town. It's a 5K race. So I'm heading over to be their cheerleader. Oh, here's our Everett. Good morning. Oh, you need a kiss? Mwah. Love you.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up and the bell.
That's how you subscribe. All right, we're heading over to town. All right, we made it to town and time to register for the race. Bennett's excited, and I was excited to use a flushing toilet and be able to wash my hands with running water. Let's be honest, that's always a nice treat when we come to town. Are you excited, Bennett?
Yeah.
Got a little bit of butterflies? You're gonna do awesome. Yay! Ben and Bennett.
They're gonna do great.
Yes, you are. I get so excited and nervous for Bennett. I know he's feeling nervous, but I'm feeling nervous too.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Woo! Go Bennett! Woohoo! I'm not sure that I would be able to see him at the end if I go too far away because I just don't know how fast he's gonna run. So I'm gonna go try and at least see him at one more point and then rush back to the beginning. But I see some gorgeous flowers up here that we can look at on the way. This is the Seldovia Village Tribe Visitor Center. So that is the Seldovia Airport over there. This is the slough. A bunch of beautiful houses along here. This water goes up and down with the tides. So the houses have to be on stilts. And this is where I'm gonna wait for Bennett. You're doing amazing! Woo! Good job, Bennett! Good job, Ben! Woohoo! Right, we're at 12 minutes, 34 seconds. I think this is the first time Bennett has ever run an actual race. He did a jogathon at school and he ran the most laps in the whole school. So this is a new challenge for him. You're at 24 minutes! You got it! Push it, you're almost done. Just do the loop, you got it. Woo! Finish strong, push it, go, go, go. Go, go, go.
You did great.
Woo, Bennett, that was amazing. You did amazing. Was that hard?
Yeah.
You did amazing. Good job. Good job, Ben.
Thanks. Finished it awesome.
So today there are 15 of us going across. So we're going to use the raft and the big boat. Always an adventure with all the family.
There.
I don't want to get my skin in.
There's gonna be a lot of boats, so like those people are trying to find a spot to park probably. So
Top 5 things of Seldovia 4th of July. The salmon shuffle. Bennett Hamm. You were 5th. Good job. The parade.
that's cool again.
The digging in the sawdust. They're digging for coins.
Go!
Go, Everett, go, go, go! Everett, here, let me hold those for you.
Micah, I'll hold your money. I'll hold your money for you.
Hey, Everett, how much money did you get?
I don't remember.
$12.60.
Yeah! $12.60.
Wow.
Ooh, there's a lot right here.
The egg toss and the salmon toss.
They only had 3 dozen eggs.
That's the last one!
All right. This is fish slime and guts. Got on your neck. Let's see your hands. Oh.
A few additional activities kept us entertained this year as we walked around, including a buoy relay, a mermaid competition where Bennett volunteered to be the mermaid with his cousins, and a Spam carving competition, which we did not participate in, but we did look at the entries. Russian church.
I like that cat.
A mermaid. A cat face.
Might have to find some more.
Ariel is blowing you a kiss. A croc shoe.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
And an octopus. Oh, this one's actually kind of good. I like this one. A little halibut on the bottom of the ocean. And this one is an otter, sea otter. Well, that was a fun day. Headed back to the cabin. And our next question is, what does Mark do for work up here? And he is a certified public accountant. He is the CFO at a native corporation that does all the healthcare for the Aleutian Islands. And it's been a great job for our family. Before that, he was an auditor, traveled all around the state doing audits of different programs, but now, thankfully, he stays in town. My life feels amazing right now. I just took my first shower at the cabin. The water was hot, there was pressure, I am clean, 5 out of 5 stars. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, I have the first day here at Seldovia where I actually have to pull out my sunglasses. We have half blue skies, half clouds still, but sure feels nice. See, we got blue sky over here and clouds over here. So hopefully...
And sunshine up there.
And sunshine right up there in the clouds. But I thought that I would get out my drone. And while I'm flying my drone, I'm going to answer the next question. The next question is, tell us about life in Alaska. Do you like it? So when I was 14 years old, we moved to Alaska from Texas in November. And it was very cold and it was very dark and it was very lonely. And my dad saw that I was kind of lonely, and so he started taking me to high school hockey games. And I knew nothing about hockey, but by the end of that hockey season, I knew all the rules. I knew how to call off sides. I had my favorite players. Pennington in particular was short and fast, and I loved watching him play. And so my dad and I connected over watching hockey. Then summertime rolled around and we decided to learn how to fish, and we were terrible at it, but we had a really good time learning how to salmon fish. And as we got better at catching salmon, we had to learn how to fillet them, and we were even more terrible at that, but we really bonded over that. And then we learned how to mountain bike together and had a lot of fun learning how to mountain bike and camp. So over time, we just learned to love Alaska, and we embraced living here, and we just found so many fun things to do together and as a family. Fast forward a few years, went away to college, met Mark when I was home in Alaska over the summer, and I thought, oh yes, I found an Alaska boy that's gonna love Alaska because I love Alaska. So we got married, moved back up here after a few months after graduating, and started our life in Alaska. And I quickly realized that Mark's version of Alaska was on a whole nother level of the version of Alaska that I loved. And his parents love everything hunting, fishing, flying on a whole nother level than I experienced with my dad as we learned together. So it was an adventure right from the beginning, being immersed in this new world of harvesting our own food, doing the whole butchering process ourselves. And I have to be honest, there were times as a young mom that I felt very lost and very overwhelmed by it all. Overwhelmed by the butchering and packaging of all the fish and all the moose and all of that. And it just seemed like a lot. It was not what I had grown up doing. So between the time when Bennett and Weston were born, we were butchering a moose. Mark's parents came over to help us because they just loved the process. And I really realized that they enjoy coming and helping us. Like the process was enjoyable to them. And I made a conscious decision, like, I'm all in on this. I've got to figure out where I fit into all this. I decided that I was going to find the things that I was good at within this lifestyle that I'm living and just really enjoy the process. So what does it mean to be all in on this life? I show up for the process of whatever it is. So we're butchering a moose. I'm really good at getting all the supplies out, laying down all the paper on the countertop. I'm really good at running the meat grinder. I'm really good at wrapping up the roasts and getting them into the freezer. I'm really good at packaging the meat and getting the air out. So I may not ever know every cut of meat, but I am really good at helping throughout the process. And I really enjoy it now because I decided to invest in it, invest my time, invest in learning what my jobs could be, that I could be most helpful. And that has just seeped into all aspects of my life. I felt like when I was first married and we'd come to the cabin, I would be counting down the nights until I got home. Not that I wasn't having a good time, but I was just kind of always living like, oh, when do I get home? Now when I'm here, my brain is on what am I gonna do when I'm at the cabin to enjoy the cabin, and then everything that happens at home afterwards can be taken care of when I get home. So all of that story is to show that we love living in Alaska. We have committed our lives to this lifestyle, and I hope that you caught through that story that this did not come naturally to me. This is something that I married into. I love Alaska, but it was taken to like a whole new playing field when I married Mark, and I have decided to be all in. And I have found that I have to do that in a lot of the things in my life. When challenges come, I have to decide to be all in, or if there's something I don't enjoy doing, I learn more about it so that I can enjoy doing it. And then I hope that when you're watching our videos, you see that we persevere through hard things and we find joy in the journey and we find joy in the process, because that's what I want to inspire you guys to do, is to find joy in your life no matter your circumstances. We all have such different circumstances, but this life we're living, I have decided to be all in, and that's why I think you see our passion through it. And I hope that you can find things in your life that you can be all in and find your passion. It's going to probably look very different than ours. Of course, we all have very different circumstances. So I hope that you can appreciate how we're living and how we're putting in our effort, and that you can go and do that in your own life. So I encourage you to just find things that maybe you don't enjoy in your life and figure out ways to be all in and find ways to enjoy it, because that's what I've had to do as I've learned to process salmon, as I've learned to butcher moose, as I've learned to camp with my family for extended periods of time. I've just taken the time to figure out, how can I make this more enjoyable? How can I make this easier? How can I make this fun? And then it's not all sunshine and roses by any means, but it's much more enjoyable. So there's that story. Now I gotta go make some lunch for the family, and then I'll answer the next question. So you may have noticed that out in front of our cabin there is this net, and there's a boat there right now. I'm going to show you. This is actually a guide net and then a gill net. This is what is called a commercial fishing site. So people get permits for this site, and they actually have multiple sites up and down the beach, and they get short windows of opportunity, like 48 hours to open up their nets. So during those 48 hours, they're coming like every 2 hours and checking their nets around the clock. They're catching different types of salmon as those runs come in throughout the summer. So right now there is a commercial fishing opening, and so they're out there checking their nets, making sure everything's good, getting any fish, and then they go and they sell those fish as their job for the summer. So if you've ever wondered, this is not our net here. This is a commercial fishing site. So one cabin tradition that I haven't showed you yet this year is making donuts out of canned biscuit dough. I didn't realize they had made such an impression, but almost immediately when the cousins got here, they kept asking, Aunt Lauren, when are you gonna make donuts? Are you making donuts? And they have asked me every day since. Well, today is the day. They are out on a walk. I told them I would get them prepared, and then I would wait for them so that they can help me do them, because they all wanted to be my assistant. So all it is like the most basic dough you can find. I'll show you. I have one more can. I'll show it to you. You flatten it out with your hand or a rolling pin, and then I just use a bottle cap to cut out the middle, and then I save all the middles, and we'll fry those up too. And then we just dip them in cinnamon and sugar. So I'm just waiting for them to get back from their walk. And then we're gonna make cabin donuts. So this is the biscuit dough that I use. I just get the most basic store brand biscuit dough. Doesn't have all the flaky layers or anything, and it is the best. All right, Phoebe is my first helper on donut duty. We're hoping we can keep it from burning. It's a little bit hard to regulate the temperature on this gas stove, right? So we're gonna do our best. Takes about 30 seconds, I think, and then we try and flip them. Ooh, that looks good. I'm gonna give it to you here. Then you put it, roll it in the sugar, and then put it back on here, and then you can offer them to people. Oh yeah, she's dipping them in cinnamon and sugar. And then she'll offer them up to people. It's hot. It's hot. I got one for you.
Them out to people. They just come and get.
Is it good?
Yes.
These are turning out beautifully. Lizzie's gonna have the job now of eating and dipping them in the cinnamon and sugar. All right, I have my third helper here, Jane. She's a pro at this. She's usually my helper for the whole thing, so she has waited patiently to get her turn. Somehow we've found the perfect temperature and they've all been nice and golden and none burned. The last time I was not so lucky. Last of all, we do the donut holes, but I made a mistake and put them all in, so we're have to work fast. Okay, Hunter came to do the donut holes with me. Well, those donuts were gone in 30 seconds flat every time they came out, so I'd say that was a success. We've got obstacle course going on.
I'll get it.
They're on a timer. Who can do it the fastest?
Later. You're doing great, Jane. 22 seconds. Really good.
Go, Bennett, go. Go, Bennett, go. Woo! Bennett was the winner with 49 seconds. He gets the Rolos.
Let me try to beat that right now.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Like a true boy. I gotta go beat that score. All right, we've had a really good time here at Seldovia, but it is now time to go. We have to go across in a little raft today. Bennett and I are going to catch the 9 o'clock ferry. Mark will leave a little bit later. It is time for us to head home and get ready for the next adventure. So. All right, we made it back to Homer, waiting for our wagon to get unloaded, and then we can get on the road. Well, Bennett and I have never been in Soldotna on a Wednesday. We usually come through on like a Friday or a Saturday. They have a Wednesday market with lots of food trucks and vendors. So we are gonna go find some lunch because it's 12 o'clock. Perfect timing. Perfect timing for a good stretch and some food. And so I've been following this reindeer hut on Instagram for a long time, and I was happy to see that they were here. We're gonna get a hero and a reindeer ear.
Tip me in the cup, don't let it flop out.
Thank you.
And then a euro with the worms. Oh, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Have a great afternoon.
Ooh, that smells so good. Memory. Well, that was a fun, unexpected stop because 1, we were hungry. 2, we were ready to walk around and have a bathroom break. And 3, I've been wanting to try that food truck for months and we found a parking spot. So it was meant to be. Oh my goodness, my camera is... And it did not disappoint. I'm just so glad we didn't stop at like Arby's or something a ways back in Soldotna because that was so much better. All right, we gotta go get some gas and continue our journey. I have not been answering questions because we're really into our audiobook, Boys in the Boat. Amazing.
Yesterday there was sun
Well, friends, it is 4:45. We are home. Hallelujah. That last little bit through rush hour traffic downtown Anchorage was a little bit brutal. I know, nothing compared to what many of you have, but this is gorgeous. Oh, I hear her. I hear her. Hello, Miss Luna. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry we left you for so long. She is purring. She missed her mama. All right, while we were driving home, we started getting some text messages. Hunter had gone out fishing with Grandpa and his Uncle Ben this morning and some of the cousins, and he caught a major halibut. The biggest one we've caught in a long time. They calculated it to be roughly, what, 70
pounds.
70 pounds.
See my hands. It's like that thick too.
It's like
it's like the size of my whole chest.
Yes, it is. It's like
it's massive.
And this is the cheek meat. If you see, we always cut out the cheek meat. It's some of the best. It's kind of like scallop meat, is how I compare it. It's so good. That's the cheek meat from this massive halibut.
This one's kind of bruised because I guess there was a slugfest going on in the boat when this thing got into it. We had a 4-year-old nephew in there, and this boat the fish was going crazy, and my brother-in-law took a little bat and was just whacking this thing to subdue it. So you can imagine 70-pound fish in the boat.
Going crazy.
Yeah.
Good job, Hunter. All right, before I jump in the shower, the next question is, how are each of the boys different? Like, tell us a little bit about each of the boys. I'm gonna give you a really quick synopsis. Hunter is very first child, independent, very level-headed. When he puts his mind to something, he does really well at it, excels, and it's just so fun to watch him take on challenges and push himself. Bennett has a servant's heart. He has since he was a little boy. If he sees something needs to be done, he goes and does it. He loves cooking, as you guys have seen. He is a bit more emotional than Hunter, some higher highs, lower lows, but he is extremely helpful and has a servant's heart. Weston is my little love bug. He will tell me 100 times a day how much he loves me. He's always just really grateful. He's a little bit more quiet and reserved, but wickedly funny and just really smart and catches on to things. He's very active, has a hard time sitting still, but has such a great, loving, kind personality. I just love him so much. And Everett, what can we say about Everett? We all know and love Everett. He is the perfect example of a little 4-year-old boy. Extremely sweet and cute and loving, and mom is his best friend, which I love. And in the next instant is extremely naughty and mischievous and getting into things like a 4-year-old little boy should be. I tell myself that all the time. This is 4-year-old behavior. This is what I expect from a 4-year-old little boy. And then I don't get so angry. I just usually just get a little bit frustrated and laugh about it and move on, because that's how you should expect 4-year-olds to behave. They are not robots. They are little human beings with lots of emotions, and I'm loving seeing his personality come out. He's very funny. He loves to tell jokes, and I just secretly love that when he gets hurt or gets upset, he just wants his mom. And I'm like, that's me. I'm here. I got it. I'm here to take care of him. All right, as I'm sitting here on the deck, Luna is waiting for me in the window. And I hope that you know that we are so grateful for each and every one of you that chooses to be here on the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again real soon for more of This Alaska Life. Are you waiting for me to come in? Are you wondering why I'm outside without you? Yeah. I'm coming. I should have left the door open for you. I'm sorry.